The Quiet Archive. Archive Record 002. Classification: Unresolved, the village hidden inside a snowstorm. Most storms move, some slowly, some unpredictably, but eventually every storm goes somewhere. This one did not. The anomaly was first detected in December of 2004. Meteorological satellites identified an isolated snowstorm covering approximately 3 square kilometers. At first, the storm appeared unremarkable. Heavy snowfall, low visibility, sub-zero temperatures, nothing unusual, until the next satellite pass. The storm had not moved. 24 hours later, it remained in the same location. 1 week later, it remained in the same location. 1 month later, it remained in the same location. 17 years later, it remained in the same location. The storm never expanded, never weakened, never drifted. It simply remained, suspended over the same coordinates. Researchers referred to it as Anomaly 714. Public records concerning the storm were restricted. Observation continued. In the winter of 2021, thermal imaging revealed something unexpected. Heat, not a single source. Hundreds, streetlights, buildings, fireplaces, entire structures. Within the storm was a settlement, a village. No village was supposed to be there. No maps listed one. No roads led to one. Yet every thermal scan suggested the same impossible conclusion. Something was living inside the storm. A perimeter was established, drones were deployed, none returned. Each transmission ended after exactly 11 minutes. No more, no less. The number was noted. No explanation was found. On January 14, 2022, a field researcher entered the storm on foot. He carried a body camera, a GPS tracker, and a radio linked directly to the observation team. The first 12 minutes were uneventful. Snow, wind, poor visibility. Then the researcher stopped. The observation team requested a status update. Several seconds passed. Finally, he answered, "I hear something." "What do you hear?" Another pause. "A train." The transmission briefly distorted. Investigators later identified another sound in the background: church bells. The researcher continued forward. The snowfall gradually began to thin. Shapes emerged through the fog. Streetlights, buildings, road signs, the outlines of a village. The body camera footage remains classified. However, written summaries describe a small town operating normally. Smoke rose from chimneys. Lights glowed behind curtains. Residents walked through the streets carrying groceries and newspapers. Everything appeared ordinary, except for one detail. Nobody acknowledged the researcher. He spoke to them. No response. He stood directly in front of them. They walked around him as though he were invisible. The village appeared occupied, yet entirely unaware of his presence. At 4:49 p.m., the researcher entered a small general store. A newspaper sat inside a display rack near the entrance. The date printed on the front page read, January 14th, 1987. The researcher checked it repeatedly. The date did not change. Beneath the headline was the newspaper's name, North Vale Gazette. The name immediately attracted attention. Investigators had encountered it once before. Years earlier, it had appeared on a train ticket recovered from an unrelated anomaly. Until that moment, North Vale had existed only as a destination. Now, for the first time, it appeared to be a real place. The researcher attempted to remove the newspaper from the rack. Before he could touch it, his radio activated. No transmission had been sent. Yet a voice emerged from the speaker. Female, calm, unfamiliar. "The train is arriving." The message was repeated once. Then the radio fell silent. Investigators later reviewed the recording. Several passengers connected to a previous transportation anomaly independently identified the voice. Each claimed it belonged to the unidentified woman seen aboard the train, the woman with no ticket, no records, and no known identity. The researcher continued deeper into the village. At exactly 5 p.m., all communications ceased. The body camera feed terminated. The radio disconnected. The GPS tracker continued transmitting for 11 minutes, then vanished. The researcher was never seen again. Search teams entered the storm the following morning. The village was gone. No roads, no buildings, no footprints, no newspaper, nothing. Only untouched snow. The storm remains active today. Satellite imagery continues to detect occasional heat signatures within its boundaries. Lights, movement, smoke, evidence of habitation, yet no successful entry has ever been repeated. The coordinates remain classified. The village remains inaccessible. And North Vale remains absent from every known map. Archive Record 002. The village hidden inside a snowstorm. Status: unresolved.